Donald Trump's executive order withdrawing U.S. funding from World Health Organization may prove costly for African countries, especially in the fight against HIV and AIDS. Welcome to the broadcast. My name is Cynthia Nanjala. Our sign language interpreter for tonight is Laura Omondi. Let's get this show started. Top leadership in the National Assembly has embarked on the reconstitution of 18 committees in a move that has raised anxiety among members of parliament who have fallen out with the government. This comes amid fears that members of parliament who are considered to be allies of the ousted Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua could be locked out from some of the powerful committees. Among committees whose term has expired include the powerful House Business Committee, Powers and Privileges, and Members' Welfare Committees, among others. Following the expiry of their term, the Speaker of the National Assembly, Moses Wetangula, has directed the leaders of majority and minority to reconstitute the committees before Parliament resumes next month.
Reconstitution of committees. 2 weeks ago, I saw in the papers that there is panic as Speaker Weta reconstitutes committees. I want to make it very clear. The Speaker does not constitute any committees. The Speaker has no role in the constitution of committees. It is entirely the duty of the majority and minority leadership, and to hereby direct the majority leader and the minority leader to move in earnest and reconstitute the 18 committees whose life has come to an end with the last session.
At the same time, the Speaker, Moses Wetangula, has called on members of Parliament to explore alternative options in matters national government constituency development funds, as the High Court declared it unconstitutional. The Speaker says the funds promote development, especially in matters education, and that should not stall.
Ensuring legal issue that we must address in this retreat is the issue regarding the National Government Constituencies Development Fund, NGCDF. You recall that last year, the High Court declared NGCDF Act unconstitutional and held that the fund and all its projects and programs shall cease to operate next year. This matter has certainly far-reaching implications for service delivery to our people. Honorable members, as you are aware, the NGCDF has been instrumental in funding projects that improve education, infrastructure, and community development. As the matter unfolds in the Court of Appeal, we must prepare to engage constructively and explore alternative solutions to ensure that the development at the constituency levels do not stall. This morning, the team has been before the Court of Appeal, and they have made some positive developments in the matter.
Laikipia East Member of Parliament Mwangi Kiunjuri has lashed out at the former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua, saying that he took his position as Deputy President without a party, leading to his woes. Kiunjuri, who says that he had been approached by President William Ruto to become his Deputy President back then, said that he intended to become the second in command with his own political party, contrary to what Gachagua did when he was named Deputy. Newly appointed Cabinet Secretary William Kabogo also assured that Mount Kenya is intact and solely behind President William Ruto.
Kelele iko mlima itakuja kwisha. Itakuja kwisha. Haiwezekani kamwe wewe ukue jikoni mahali kunapikwa, alafu ukishafurushwa umetoka nje ya jikoni unaanza kusema unajua bwana alikuwa anapika sumu ananipatia niwapatie. Huyo mtu ako sawa kichwa yake? This is not a day for those things, but excuse me, I have not been on the platform for 7 years. So I take this opportunity to fix things that need to be fixed.
Niwe deputy wake, Rigathi alikuweko. Ishongo alikuweko. Muru Komani alikuweko. Mtu anaitwa Muthama alikuweko. Mtu anaitwa huyu Hassan Yuunda Secretary General alikuweko akina Harware. Mimi nikasema nataka kuingia kwa serikali nikiwa kwa chama yangu ya TSP. Huyu Rigathi akakimbia mlango ya nyuma akaingilia ndani akachukua kiti ya deputy president. Sasa ndiye analia ati aliingia bila kujipanga. Hakusikiza wale walikuwa hapo beleni tukimpatia mawaidha. Tulimpatia mawaidha tukamwambia jipange, ingia kwa serikali ukiwa na ngari yake, akakataa. Sasa yeye ametupwa kwa mtaro, analilia huko kwa mtaro shauri yake. Ili awe na heshima kwa viongozi wengine. Ni kiongozi gani ambaye anasimama mbele ya watu anasema hawezi semahea wengine? Ukimsikiza kila wakati, alikuwa hapa Matanya Center akasema mimi hata kama mnataka tufanye kazi, kuna viongozi wengine sitasamehea. Kama huyu Kionjore sitamsamehea. Sasa kama hutanisamehea na Mungu ananisamehea, wewe ni nani?
Wow, Mountain is really rumbling tonight. Now, Cabinet Secretary for ICT William Kabogo says
za wale watu hawana kazi ya kufanya. Mimi niko na kazi nimepatiwa ya kufanya, na ni kuweza kueneza internet kila mahali Kenya, na iweze kupatikana kwa njia ya rahisi, hata sokoni, hata kwa bus stop.
The national government has released public schools capitation days after threats from school heads to close down schools due to lack of money. This is according to Education Cabinet Secretary Julius Migos while touring various schools in Kabete constituency, Kiambu County this morning. Migos has disclosed that 14 billion shillings has been released to all public secondary schools across the country for the year 2025, term 1, and released about 9.9 million books to ensure smooth learning in all schools. At the same time, Julius Migos has also disclosed various changes that the ministry has done in the new university funding model to ensure the challenges that were there before are fully addressed.
Wewe kama waziri na kupitia kwa president wetu katika eneo letu la Kabete, tayari madarasa ambayo yamejengwa na yameisha ni madarasa 36 na bado tunarudi tuongezwe madarasa mengine 4 katika phase 2, na kwa hivyo Kabete peke yake tutakuwa hivi karibuni tuna 40 classrooms kutoka ambazo tumepewa na idara ya Ministry of Education. Hamna makofi kwa hiyo kazi nzuri ambayo tunafanya. Na mimi kama mbunge kupitia CDF bado naendelea kuwafanyia kazi. Ukiangalia kuna gorofa ambayo tulijenga hapa, na hivi karibuni kuanzia mwezi wa April shule ikifungwa, tutakuja tubomoe madarasa mengine hapa, tutoe mabati, tuongeze ikuwe orofa.
14 billion is going to secondary schools. They are receiving this money as we speak, so there is no point to make those threats or even close those schools. And as we've indicated to them, in this country we have challenges. What we all need to understand is the government is ready, willing and able to handle those challenges, and we are aware of those challenges. So when there's some delay, the threatening of sending the students back home doesn't help, because it is the government that are supposed to release those resources. So we are working very hard to ensure that the resources are released on time, and the issues arose this time because they were the government under National Treasury was paying the debts and all that. But last term, we were able to release all the disbursements before the schools opened. Enough textbooks, as I indicated earlier, we've done 9.9 million textbooks, and they've been distributed to all the schools, and we've told their teachers to take stock of if they have extra students that require those books to do returns to us, and then we'll again release further textbooks so that each student has a book on a ratio of 1:1. So we are prepared to ensure that all our students have the facilities they require as we do the adjustments and as we do the correct number for schools. This is because some schools received more students than the records that we had, and so we have asked them now to reconcile that exercise maybe at the end of this month and send the report back, and where there is a shortfall we'll be able to release the books that they require to those students.
8 families were left homeless and property of unknown value destroyed after a fire razed down their homes at 10 p.m. on Monday night, leaving them spending the night out in the cold. Neighbors and well-wishers rushed to the scene as efforts to contain the fire went on for about 3 hours, with residents demanding better emergency response services from the county fire department, whom they said are not adequately prepared to deal with disasters.
Moto ilianza kitu saa 4, nilisukia tu nikiamshwa na majirani wakipiga nduru. Tuko wengi. Nyumba yenye ilianzisha moto hakuna kitu ameokota, ametoa kila kitu, imechomeka kila kitu.
Na tumekuja tumeona moto inawaka. Sisi ni majirani ya mali moto inawaka. Sisi yenyewe tumepambana, unaona hata mimi ni maji tupu. Nimezima na ngangana kuzima na mandoo. Tunaendea maji kwa majirani huko kukuja kuzima hapa. Majirani wengine wanakuja wanazima moto.
Na tumefeliwa na county government of Kericho. That's the reality. Tumefika hapa kama ile maji ile nyumba haiko imeungua. Lakini sasa unakuta gari inafika, pipe peke yake haiwezi fika huko. Ikifika haina pressure. So kindly the service money and the emergency team, they should sit down and organize themselves. We don't want to see this kind of embarrassment next time. We thank God hakuna mtu ameumia, hakuna mtu amekufa. Lakini for the reality watu kama hapa hatujafurahia.
Moto ilianza wakati wa tuseme saa 4 hivi. Alafu gari ya kuzima moto imekuja. Inataka kuzima moto lakini pipe hawana pressure. Unaona? Sasa sisi ndio tunangangana na mandoo, unaona? Unaona? Wazima moto wapi ile kitu tunaitoka disaster management. Hakuna gari ni mtambo tu. Gari inaonekana tu hapa. Hakuna kuzima moto inazima.
Iko na haja gani kaunti yetu tujue tuko na magari ya wazima moto na
gari inafika haina maji imeisha saa angalia. Moto bado inawaka.
We empathize with the families that were left homeless and hope that the county government will work to ensure that they are very much well compensated. Now, Kenya faces a challenging situation following an announcement by US President Donald Trump to withdraw US donor funding from the World Health Organization. Amos Gathecha, the Principal Secretary for Public Service and Human Capital Development, stated that like the rest of the world, Kenya is awaiting the outcome of Trump's executive orders. Speaking in Machakos during a validation workshop for the draft public work policy on HIV and AIDS and related diseases, Gathecha emphasized that if the funding is cut, Kenya must strategize to fill the gap, particularly to support those affected by HIV. He mentioned that alternative means of funding HIV programs would be considered if the US funding is withdrawn. Gathecha.
There are many donor-funded programs in Kenya, US government funded programs, na sasa ndio maana tunataka kuangalia tutaathirikaje. There are many donor-funded programs in Kenya, US government funded programs, na sasa ndio maana tunataka kuangalia tutaathirikaje, ndiposa tuweze kukuja na njia ya kusuluhisha na tusipatikane kwa athari kama hayo.
Hatujajua hiyo italete implications gani kwa vile tumekuwa tukihusiana na hawa. Kwa hivyo ni kitu ambaye tunafikiria sasa, ni kitu ambaye tunangoja tuone, kwa sababu alisign tu executive order na bado hajatoa mikakati ya vile hiyo itafanyika. Kama vile mumeona ulimwengu wote inamwambia hapana usitoke. Kwa hivyo hiyo ni kitu ambaye iko kwa wakati huu na hatujui vile itakuwa hatimaye. Lakini kusema kweli America ndio imekuwa kusaidia sana kwa hiyo Global Fund, na tunatarajia ya kwamba hawatatoka na wataendelea kusaidia. Iwapo watatoka, kama nchi lazima tukuwe na mbinu zetu za vile tutajimudu, kwa sababu hii ni shida ambaye tuko naye ya hii ugonjwa, na lazima tuwe na njia vile tutaendelea kusaidia wale ambao wako na shida. Kwa hivyo hata ikiisha lazima tufikirie kama serikali.
President William Ruto joined other African leaders in Dar es Salaam, Tanzania on Tuesday for the launch of an ambitious initiative aimed at connecting 300 million people in the continent to electricity over the next 5 years. The African Heads of State Energy Summit also brought together global leaders from the financial and philanthropic sectors for the launch of the program envisioned to accelerate Africa's electrification, dubbed Mission 300. The initiative seeks to deliver affordable and sustainable power to more than half of the 600 million people in the continent currently without electricity by the year 2030.
To achieve the ambitious targets outlined in our National Energy Compacts, which will be soon presented, we African leaders need to commit our governments to address critical bottlenecks across the energy value chain as outlined in the Compact's action plans. As we welcome the commitments by the African Development Bank and the World Bank and other financial institutions to scale up financing and technical assistance for active participation of the private sector, we African leaders commit to create favorable investment environment through policy reforms, transparent procurement, and innovative financing mechanisms.
I'd like to thank you and to say we need your personal leadership to get this done. Together, let us decisively use Mission 300 to deliver 300 million people in Africa with access to electricity in all your countries by 2030. The African Development Bank's $20 billion Desert to Power program will complement Mission 300 and develop 10,000 megawatts of solar power across 11 Sahelian countries and provide access to electricity for an additional 250 million people. Therefore, the Mission 300 and the Desert to Power working collectively will provide 550 million Africans with electricity.
Mission 300 is an opportunity to work together and to work together differently. We pledge support as helpers and quiet helpers at every level of this project to ensure that decades from now, people look back on yesterday and today and say what happened in Dar es Salaam, much like turning the streetlights on in 1908, transformed a continent and transformed generations for the future.
All right, 20 minutes past the hour mark. Allow us to take a quick breather. We'll be back shortly with more news making headlines. Stay with us.
Accept of hospital delivery services.
This has been ascribed or as a result of the training we did for EMOC mentorship for 3 classes in July, end of July 2024. And now you can see the impact in just 6 or less months. So we continue committed as Dandelion Africa to continue supporting the county to ensure we reach saturation with EMOC mentorship.
Governor Chegoi urged expectant women to seek healthcare services to receive specialized treatment and prevent pregnancy-related deaths. This project aims to further reduce the risk associated with pregnancy and childbirth. With ongoing training and resource provision, midwives are better equipped to handle complications during childbirth and ensure the mothers and infants receive the best care.
Nafikiri hiyo ni step moja ambayo tunataka kuhakikisha kwamba wafanyikazi wetu wa afya wawe wakipata mafunzo kila wakati, na teknolojia inaenda ikibadilika, na hii ni njia moja ya kuhakikisha kwamba wamama wetu wanaweza kujifungua kwa njia mzuri kule katika mahospitali yetu. Na tunataka kuuliza wamama wote ambao wako katika hali ya kujifungua waweze kwenda kwa mahospitali yetu ili wapate kusaidiwa na professionals yetu, madaktari na wauguzi kujifungua kwa njia nzuri bila nafasi ya kufariki kwa sababu ya kujifungua kwa njia ambayo haifai.
The collaboration between the county government and Dandelion Africa organization has highlighted the critical role of partnership in enhancing healthcare delivery. This holistic approach not only addresses the immediate healthcare concerns, but also lays the foundation for sustainable healthcare improvements in the region.
So the dummies, the mannequins, are used to train to help it's like skills skill dummies to be able to help the healthcare providers do the mentorship on emergency, maternal, obstetric, newborn care. So that is the essence for the dummies. You realize that it's a challenge to do the mentorship without the dummies. So we've been able to support each sub-county with a dummy so that even as the healthcare providers are continuing with the mentorship, they have the aids, the skills to be able to help them do the mentorship more.
Destiny Mbada, EBN TV.
Police in Kayole have nabbed 80 kg bales of bang in the early morning crackdown in a self-contained house in Mihango, Madina Bikot. According to Njiru Sub-County Commander John Oworth, who confirmed the incident, he said the police were acting on an intelligence when they accessed the house, which is guarded by 2 dogs to scare any strangers. One woman who was found in the house is held by police for further interrogations. The owner of the house is at large, while the police are urging members of the public to give any information to the police if they come across the suspects. The OCPD warned drug cartels within the sub-county that their days are numbered as they continue to ruin people's children.
We had some intelligence kwamba there is a person within Miango who is dealing with bang. So we laid an ambush. Apparently we did not catch up with him, he's on the run. But we recovered about 16 sachets or bales weighing 80 kilos. And from the reliable source, the street value is 240,000. So we are still looking for this person, and also we are warning and advising members of the public that sharing of information is very important, because bang as a weed is not good for human consumption. It derails even your thinking capacity, and those who are involved, they can ruin their health. So we are saying, if you have any information, just share it with us so that we can arrest these people, and they are supposed to be prosecuted and taken to court. But we arrested one person who was found in that house where these things were found. We are still detaining him, detaining the person for further investigation. It is a very different, even the packaging. It is said it is pressed, so it is coming into unga form, which is either flour. So we are told it is added to either tea. It can be taken with the tea or without water.
In the world of sports, WRC Safari Rally and the government through the Ministry of Sports have given a clean bill of health ahead of this year's championship. According to Safari Rally Kenya Chief Executive Officer Charles Gasheru, the championship will have a new shakedown route at the Sleeping Warrior stage, as the ceremonial start also relocates to City Hall from KICC to give Kenyans a chance to witness the championship from the first step. 2025 Safari Rally Kenya will also have 2 new stages, with Morandat Farm included in the circuit, as Kenya is getting up for the World Showpiece. On his side, Cabinet Secretary for Sports Salim Mvurya has assured of the government support to improve the preparations as well as solving local challenges in terms of employment during the championship.
I think one of the focus we have this year is to really make the rally more accessible to the spectators. And especially we have a big focus on the people who cannot really afford to come into the stages, because sometimes to access the rally, you need to be driving. There are a few areas that you can access the rally easily. Hell's Gate on Sunday, Sunday the 23rd, that's an easy day to access the rally at Hell's Gate, for example. But we are setting up a public village at Morendat, which is just 4 kilometers from the Delamere shops going towards Nakuru on the right. We are setting up a rally village there, and the rally cars will be there every day. So some days they'll be there to compete, and some days they'll be there for autograph sessions.
This World Rally Championship this year is one of those bigger opportunities that is going to put Kenya on the global map, and I'm very confident that the CEO and the team that we have that is managing the organization is up to the task, and we will have a good event. And today is not, and the aim of this meeting today was basically to announce to the leadership of Nakuru County and all Kenyans that Kenya is now ready to organize the World Rally Championship, which is going to take place on the 20th of March to 23rd of March.
Well, that piece from the Cabinet Secretary for Sports, Salim Vuria, does it for us tonight. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you are up to speed and up to date on what is making headlines across this country tonight. My name is Cynthia Nanjala. I was in studio with Laura Omondi on the sign language desk. Thank you for watching. Have yourself a fantastic night. God bless.